This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Always love getting together with her because she has answers. So you're feeling a certain way, a certain vibe, energy, intensity with relationships, your life. There's a reason astrologically for it. And we're going to get some of those reasons in real time today from her. She blends astrology and life coaching. Amazing combination. The astrology part, hey, cool. All right. What do I do with that? Now we throw it over to the life coach. It's 2 for 1 in this package. And now you get ways to harness the power of astrology, what to do with that. She is our professional of the year. She's Nancy Volante. She's back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, Steve. I'm doing okay. I'm not going to say I'm riding the wave. I'm going to say I'm riding the air current today
Hmm.
because we have a full moon in Gemini and the element is air. So it's a little different than water and earth. So air, gets us into our head a little bit, right? And it's about ideas. Uh, the air sign, the air element, it's about ideas, it's about socializing, it's about how do we connect to create something out of nothing, which I
Hmm.
love. So
Out of,
I'm more
oh, you mean, and pun intended here, out of thin air,
out of
right?
you got it, out of thin air. And the full moon is in Gemini. Gemini loves that stuff. Let's create this, let's create that, let's go here, let's go there. So if you all are feeling like I was the last couple days and still working with that energy and how to really ground it, right? Because that's the essence of all of this. Astrology is how do you make it present within your mind, body, and soul, right? So with Gemini just is a very energetic sign, right? Loves to explore, is curious. Um, you know what
Hmm.
it's like, Steve? It's like a radio wave. Gemini is like a radio wave. You got to really dial it in to get really aligned. And this full moon is like that. It's at 13 degrees. And the big thing about this full moon is it's a grand cross or a grand square. They're very rare. So you have four planets. In this case, they're not planets because we have the sun and the moon that are in opposition, which creates the full moon, right? Those are called luminaries. And then we have the sun and the sun in Sagittarius, the moon in Gemini, squaring the nodes of our favorite word, fate or destiny. And those aren't planets either, really. Those are nodal points up in the sky. And I think that's what for me, makes this even more powerful because it's points, it's luminaries, it's reflecting, it's illuminating what we need to do at this point in our journey. It's the last full moon of the year. So I'll
Hmm.
start there in case you're having because you got a Gemini rising, so I know you have a question, maybe.
I'm, I feel personally, and I'm, ride that airwave,
Yeah.
but I feel I'm looking for change. And even like on the social side of things, I've kind of pulled back just a little bit. Not
Yeah.
cocooning, but,
No.
unlike what how I normally operate, it's just like I need to tap the brakes on a lot of things that, I've been doing. Nothing wrong with them, but just like, you know what, just need to more reflection time, more me time. Is that also what's going on here with
Yeah,
this?
it is. And I just said, like, oh, Gemini is, it's always cute. And he is always curious because he's yang. So that's male energy. But you are absolutely point on when you saying, I wanted to pull back. I want to reflect, which is the moon, but it's this grand cross. Okay, that grand cross, again, four planets, but as I said, we got two luminaries in the north and south node. They're all pulling at each other. They're all pulling and they're creating squares. So it's the square to each planet, that line, and there's four of them. So it's got you in a box, so to speak.
Hmm.
Okay? So that's what a square is. And that square, I really like them, but they're not comfortable. Okay, because what they're doing is, and in this case, because it's a grand square, it's just not like when we say a square in a planet, it could be just going from the moon in Gemini to Jupiter in Cancer, whatever. But this is the whole 9 yards, the full box. And it's pulling us, it's stretching us in many different ways, right? It's stretching us in Gemini, like, I want something new, I want change. The opposite of Gemini, the axis point is Sagittarius. Yeah, I want to go bigger. I want to see the bigger vision. I want to see the truth. I want to see where things can change and move in a way that allows me to figure out what the meaning is behind what my purpose is. And then we have the lunar nodes, right? So North Node in Pisces, which is where we want to grow, where our soul wants to go for change, and that's saying, let's cultivate some empathy, some imagination into the creative process. Maybe look at where we can grow. Maybe if we're, I don't know, eating too much sugar or we have some kind of addiction. Let's see if we can grow out of that. And a lot of times with that, we need help. Sometimes we need, self-care. But that North Node is saying, get into the spirituality of Pisces, get into the imagination. And then we have the South Node that's wanting to release what we feel so comfortable in. And Virgo is, I want everything perfect. I want to just analyze everything.
It sounds like they're all fighting each other.
Yeah,
You
they're
got
not
one.
fighting, they're pulling.
Oh, okay. But
But
like what?
when they fight, Steve, excuse me to interrupt you, is when we resist.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that good old word.
Would it be like you have four people in the room, you're in the middle, and
Yeah.
you're pondering something, and one corner of the room's like, go for it, man, go for it. Another side of the room's like, if you're going for it, go big. Another side of the room is, gotta, hey, you can't step on others while you do that. You got to have a little empathy. And another corner of the
Got
room
it.
saying, if you're going to do it, dude, you got to make it perfect. Don't mess this up. Is that what's going on here?
Oh man, you got it. And I just got the vision of like a boxing ring.
Yeah.
And I did.
Like,
And
okay, so you have coaches in each corner. You're in the
yeah,
middle of the ring,
yeah,
fighting
right?
life, moving life forward. And you've got, like Rocky, Burgess Meredith comes over, hey, hey, hey. Then another one comes over here, and then another one over. And you're like, all right, well, what do I
Right?
do? Duck, weave, punch.
Yeah.
You're in the
And,
middle.
and and those are in this case. I love that. I love it. And we're bringing this grand cross, this grand square down to a place where, you know what? We just said a really great metaphor, a boxing ring. Everybody can relate to that. And that's what we want. To be able to relate to that. So it's those four corners, those four coaches, whatever they're saying, those little guys on our shoulders.
Hmm.
And that's why you want to pull back this week. 5 days before, 5 days after, maybe even longer. You want to pull back. You don't want to overcommit
Mm.
because then they're all going to go at it. And you're the guy or the gal in the middle, right? That's like, whoa, man, I can't ride this airwave. I can't dial it in to the station I want. And you alone know what the station is. So, what this full moon is asking with all this energy going on is, okay, can you express what you haven't expressed, what you're keeping inside? Because
Mm.
all these, the North Node, South Node, the moon, the sun, especially in Gemini, Sagittarius, we want you to express what haven't you said that you need to say. Gemini, the voice, writing. How
Mm.
can we, go easy and have some patience? So maybe the biggest thing of this full moon is listening internally. Because Gemini sometimes doesn't want to listen. And if you listen to my energy right now, I am really embodying Gemini. It's like, I gotta go, I gotta go. But, really, Gemini to me is considered as a Native American would say, coyote energy, the trickster. And you gotta watch it.
Would you say also because you got a lot going on here, the box, the corners,
Yeah.
that it's potential for us to feel a little depleted, like, oh, I've been in the ring. I've been, fighting, I don't want to say for life, but just, fighting my battle, whatever the
Yeah.
battle is. I want to do this. I want this better. I got to pull back up, whatever it is. Could this also be a time where you're like, oh,
I'm tired.
tired?
Tired. I was tired too. It's like, on Monday, it was Monday, and I was just all over the place. I really couldn't get a flow going.
Me too. And
Wow.
things
Oh,
presented, and they needed to present in my world in this
yeah,
one
me too.
scenario. Um,
Mhm.
but I didn't even sleep well because it was
No,
on my mind. But you said Monday. For
yes,
me, it was Monday.
me too. I
Yeah,
was a mess on Monday. I got to tell you,
yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I,
I hear you.
I got someplace late. I forgot everything at home. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm listening. I'm hearing to this corner over here. Slow down. So then I got through the day. I didn't sleep at all that night. Woke up at 4:30 and I'm writing. I'm
Mm,
writing, I'm writing, I'm writing. This
hmm.
is what, and I'm really listening and writing because that's when the soul speaks to you.
Thank you for saying that. Lately, and it's been since this past weekend. Usually sleep through the night, you get up, maybe you hit the bathroom, back sleep.
Yeah.
I've been waking up at about 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's like I'm sometimes wide awake. I'm like, oh, really? But I never thought. And sometimes before I go to bed, I'll write in a journal. I try to every couple of days, whatever. Now I'm gonna do it when I wake up
Yeah.
and I'm awake. Let's use that time because do you feel that we wake up and short of anybody who's got like major sleeping challenges, but
Sure.
those that just happen to wake up and why did this happen again? Is there a reason for it? Is it your subconscious or just you? There's a
Yeah.
reason you're waking up.
Yeah. Yes, I do. And I think it's your subconscious. I think it's your higher self, if you will. I think it's your soul because that's when, you know, this kind of self-talk can really come in without all the chatter and all that and resistance maybe. So I oftentimes when that happens, I'm like, I want to go back to bed. I want to go back to bed. But I really made myself, it's like, okay, I'm getting up. I'm going to write. And I got to tell you, the next day I got up, I had to talk to the person that I needed to communicate with, a business partner, which was a great conversation. But I really got out what I needed to get out, where I wanted to go, and how I wanted to do it. Because I listened to, I'm going to say, the soul whispering, the whispering soul.
Hmm.
And I felt much better, I got to tell you, because it was a release of energy. We think that's woo woo, but we are energy. We are those radio waves. We are those water waves, any kind of wave, even a tree can be wavy. We're part of that energetic field.
Everything is.
Yeah,
Everything around us is part of it. And people wonder about energy, even inanimate objects and all of that. I just sit back, I witness it. And, my example of that is I have this old Jeep, 25 years old. I just use it just for, taking kayaks and just junky driving around and not ever worrying about it. Feel like a kid driving it. It used to break down and I used to curse it out. I don't know if I ever told you this. I used to curse it out. Like, come on, you piece of junk. I'm stuck on the side of the road, blah, blah, blah. Got it fixed. And now I I praise it. I tap the dashboard. Hey, we had a good day. Thank you for
I
transporting me
love
to
it.
the beach. And I love you. You know what? You and me, we got it going on. It hasn't had any mechanical issues ever since I flipped the energy around. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And I love you. You said two things that I really love. You said witness and you said flip the energy. And those are so important. So when we can witness ourselves,
Mm,
like be the witness, and that's part of coaching. So that's part of the coaching um, frame, if you will, is to really get into witnessing yourself. Because when you witness yourself, right, you start to see, you start to feel, you start to maybe, look at those parts of yourself that you're witnessing that need to come back online with some healing or, some kind of self-care, right? So witnessing is so important. And then the other thing you said, oh my God, it left me. What was the other thing that the energy. You said something. Oh, dear, I lost it.
Well, you know what I want to ask you?
Flipping the energy.
Before,
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
what should we be thinking? And the full moon, six something, is that AM PM today?
It's PM, 6:14 p.m.
Six.
Eastern Standard Time. So
Gotcha.
wherever you are in the world, adjust.
And if you're watching or hearing this podcast at another date, all good. There's nuggets of info here
Oh yeah.
all the time. Um, what should we be asking ourselves as we deal with this full moon and 5 days from now?
I love
What's the questions?
I wrote it down, Steve.
Oh,
I was
cool.
ready for that. So the question is, what are you ready to release and finally express? Should I say
Mm,
that? I'll play that again. What are you ready to release, South Node, and finally express? North Node, also, Gemini in the polarity point with Sagittarius. And that polarity point is really about truth. The higher truth, Sagittarius, the communication and the information that we gather on the mundane level right here
hmm
now.
With that statement, what are you ready to release and finally express? I got to believe that most of us have some stuff on our minds. Like
Mhm.
something comes clear. Yeah, I got to take care of that. There's also that. However, for most of us, we are challenged to do that. And this being the best time to do it, challenged because of fear.
Yes.
If I finally express the way I feel, it might be a change coming. I don't know if I'm ready for that change. So I'm going to hold on to this situation and not rock the boat.
Yeah.
How do we get past that? And how
Yeah.
do we get past that fear?
It's just so valid and it's such that's why we have cycles. I'm going to say, because, like, say, you become aware of your fear during this full moon, but you can't quite, like you said, make that change. You don't want to rock the boat. But the fact that you became aware of it, you know what? Put that in your pocket, write that in your journal
Mm,
for another time because it's going to come around because we're in this circular kind of motion always.
wow.
There's no right or wrong. And I'm really supportive with people when I speak about that because I myself and you probably, sometimes I'm not ready, but I'm conscious of it, but I
Uh,
can't do it yet.
would you say with these astrological cycles that I don't mean this in a bad way, it's a supportive way. You can run, but you can't hide.
Yes, especially now, Steve, because we have all these, outer planets. We have Saturn and Neptune going to move into Aries. As they move direct now. And then we're going to have Uranus moving direct, moving into Gemini. Those are big paradigm shifts.
Mm,
So, some of those things we're not going to see again in our lifetime.
wow.
So, yeah. So, with the intention and consciousness of listening to podcasts like this and other people that are bringing this information to light, it is a good time. You can run, but you can't hide. And
Yeah.
and we have to go over this. I know we want to talk about this at some point with Pluto and Aquarius. You can't really hide with Pluto because he's going to bring things out, pretty or not. Well, usually not pretty, and then it alchemizes into the higher form of, you know,
Mm.
like a rotten mushroom turning into a beautiful mushroom or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
So would it be safe to say that this full moon tonight, 6:14 p. Eastern, it's a full moon. Am I saying this right? Full moon in Gemini, the
Yes.
air sign.
Yes.
Okay.
Mutable.
And I would say
Immutable.
again?
It's a mutable element. So, so Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. If you're around 13 degrees of any of your planets in your chart, you're going to be feeling this full moon. It's going to be really pay attention if you know your
Okay.
chart. If you don't know your chart, then feel inside. So did I answer that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say that um, you're feeling this no matter what sign you are? And would you say also that this full moon is somewhat unprecedented? We're not going to see this situation in a long time, if ever in our lifetime. Am I getting that right or no?
Um, Possibly. I'm going to say possibly because, and maybe not for a few years. That's a great question. Because no, you probably won't see it for a while because the nodes are going to change. The lunar nodes will change in, I think, January or February. Okay. So they won't be in Pisces, they won't be in Virgo. So whatever their themes are, right, what they want us to do, that's, you'll have to wait again until they come around.
So back to the boxing ring of life.
Yeah, back to the, yeah,
Okay, we're in there, we're in the middle, and then we have um, the four corners.
yeah.
One is pushing you to do it. One is talking about, care about others, empathy. You got the other one, make it perfect, Virgo. Um, do you need to honor all of those for your situation to go the best it will? So let's say you're thinking of making a change, or just really just being expressing something. But in order to do it with the most effectiveness, you have to honor each corner, i.e., each planet.
100%, if
Hmm.
you can.
If you can. So give me those again, because I want to commit to memory. Obviously, Virgo, make it perfect, perfection. The other planets would be, and their qualities are.
Yeah. So again, the sun and moon are luminaries. So we have the sun in Sagittarius, and that is about, I just wrote a couple things down that I wanted to say. That is about finding meaning in your life, about the human condition. What is the bigger picture? What
Okay.
is the
Yeah.
truth?
You know what? Thank you. Now it's coming back. Then the other one was, if you're going to do it, go big. Go big. And I'm trying to remember, is that Sagittarius?
That's Sagittarius. So Gemini is about listening to your inner voice. And
Intellect and communication.
yeah, you got it. Perfect.
I'm learning from you, the best. Come on.
That is great. I'm going to take that one, Steve. Intellectual communication. Love it.
I got it from you. Like, yeah, I'm picking these
And
pieces
then,
out here.
yeah, and then you got the nodes that are like, pushing and pulling you to evolve your soul. The north node is evolving your soul. The south node is releasing what's comfortable. You don't throw it away. You take threads of it with you to make the north node really a nice, big, nice basket.
Mm. And is it, final question here? Are we talking? Yes, it's full moon tonight, but is it 5 days? If we're gonna really harness the best power of this, should we
Yeah.
be looking at, a 5 day period? Like, if you're gonna nail it, do it. This is
Yeah.
it's go time.
Yeah, I say 5 days before, 5 days after, because of the grand cross and square. I think it might stay
Mm.
around for maybe a little bit. I don't know that energy. So, you're still going to feel it. I mean, it all blends into each other. Do you know what I mean? And then it's the person's presence and empowerment that really feeds those four corners and brings it into the center.
I feel most of us will know a few things right away that we've been pondering, and
Sure.
now it's come to the forefront. But what challenges us, change, is not easy. There's fear. There's fear
Yeah.
floating back there. Like I want to say that to that person and just make them understand that this is the way it should be. Or I want to change jobs and this is, I hear what they're saying. This is now the time. Fear is always going to be in the background. It's what keeps us safe, but also what keeps us stale.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And the last thing that's really great about this grand square is that, with squares, they're about determination and resilience. So they do make you strong. They do give you strength to
Mm.
move on, to be conscious where you are, where you need to go, because we're all individuals. And with that, with this square, please don't be afraid. Talk to a friend, go get support, go get a massage, go get, anything that can support you into making a change is worth, as my grandmother would say, every penny.
Hmm. Thank you for today, as always. You make
Uh,
you make it clear, you make it exciting, and reasons for why we feel a certain way. We showed up here and we were talking about Monday. Monday was kind of a big day in my
yeah,
world of
mine
stuff
too.
going on, and I'm still dealing with the things revealed now
Yeah,
and what to do with them. We know what
sure.
to do with them. We
And
just,
that's the work. Yeah,
yeah. Thewhisperingsoul.net. That's your website, right?
that is. Yes.
Yeah. And anybody's looking for change and support with that.
Yeah.
And you're good with astrology and how it can move your life forward, give you answers, and then work with a life coach at the same time. It's all right there. Start a conversation. Don't be afraid. Now is get in the ring. Now
Yeah,
it's
get in the
time.
ring and start that conversation. It's a beautiful thing. Doesn't have to all be at once. Remember, we got to take our time. We
Yep.
got 2 feet, 1 foot forward,
Yep.
you know.
Appreciate it. As always, thank you, Nancy.
Oh, thank you, Steve. It was a pleasure. Have a
Likewise, we'll
great
be right
day.
back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.